Okay, so let's try the hopefully chill 13.2, number 24.
Yeah.
So I'm summing from 0 to 15, 2 plus 1/2 times n. So, first things first, you make a little sum to orient yourself. The first term should be from n is 0, right? So that'll be 2 plus 1/2 times 0. And then what's your next term?
2 plus 1/2 times 1.
2 plus 1/2 times 1. And then your next term is 2 plus 1/2 times 2, and so on, right? And what's your last term?
2 plus 1/2 times 15.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then you could notice that there's a lot of 2's and halves in here.
See
Is that?
and factor it out.
So I'm going to just group all the 2's up. How many 2's are
15. Well, 16. 16.
there? Y'all were so happy. There are 16 2's because you're starting at 0 up to 15, right?
Yeah.
So
No justice.
there's 16 times 2. That's from this part.
Yeah.
And then in the other bits, there's lots of halves, right?
16.
Well, because there's nothing.
Oh, there's
Yeah, so the first one doesn't really matter, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you could probably just drop this one.
Cool.
And then, yeah, there's 15 halves, but you're not adding up the halves, right?
No.
You're adding the halves times other stuff.
Yeah.
So you could pull a 1/2 out of it, right? And then what are you left adding up?
And 1 to 15.
1 to 15, right? So you have 1. Where'd the 0 go?
No, but you cancel out the
yeah.
0.
Yeah. That zeroed out a while back.
Yeah.
So I got 1 plus 2 plus on up to 15, right? Maybe let me put up 14 and 15. And then what do you do with stuff like this?
You do stuff to it.
Yeah, do the same trick you always do.
Oh, yeah, that weird shit. No, yeah, 16 times 7.5. I don't know.
Yeah.
7.5 though, really?
So that'd be 16, right?
Yeah.
And 16
Mm-hmm.
and so far there you have, they add up to 16,
There's
right?
16,
And then how many of them are there?
there's, well, 6, 15 times, yeah, right, exactly.
There are in fact 15 over 2 pairs.
Yeah, that's really strange.
Right,
Oh,
because the one in the middle
Oh, it
doesn't
is.
have a friend, so you only get half of it.
And it's 8.
You guys see that? The one in the middle is 8.
Oh.
That's really just putting the 1/2 on the 16 instead of the 15.
Oh,
Right? If you put a 0 back here at the beginning, and instead did 15 to 0,
Then it's 15 times.
then they all add up to 15, right?
8, which
And
is
there's
the same.
16 of them.
Yeah, it's the
You guys
same.
see that? Same sum. Okay, so all told here, I got 32 from the 2's, and half of 15 times 16,
Or 8 times 15.
which is 8 times 15 over 2. With this half.
Yeah, 8 times.
Okay,
So there's a 1/2 out front, and then there's 8 times 15 as the sum of that part.
so 4 times.
So 4 times 15, which is
60.
60, so all told here you have 92. Cool.
Wow.
And another thought you could do. So alternatively, you could break this up into the sum from n is 0 to 15 of 2 plus 1/2 the sum from n is 0 to 15 of n. And then you can use your formula on this piece, right? And this one you can figure out that there's 16 2's added up, and then make sure you multiply your 1/2 by the formula piece, and you'll get the same thing. Cool?